Hi. So now I'm going to share with you my favorite tech tool. So as you can see, it's Google Classroom. I started using Google Classroom last year during my final course in my master's program for instructional technology degree of Master's of Education. And I used it as the tool where I was focusing on improving students' grammar and punctuation, and also how they express their ideas. So I created a Google Classroom for both sections. I had two classes, and again this year I have two classes. So I'm going to click on my homeroom. So this is what the home page of all the classes that I have, and if I wanted to create another, I would click this plus sign over here, and then you could click join class. So if you were trying to join somebody else's classroom, say the music teacher wanted you to see what the students were doing, she could share with you a code and you would put the code in and join her class. And this was where you would click create a class to add another section in here. And then here I would label what the class's name is, and then put a section if I wanted to, and then what the subject is: reading, math, science, social studies. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of there, and I'm going to go ahead and click on my classroom. And so up here is where you would see like a background theme for this section of the classroom. So this section is actually my homeroom class, and right here is actually my teammate who is the third grade reading teacher. So she can see, because I'm trying to teach her right now how to use Google Classroom for next year, because she was so amazed by it, and she had never heard of it. So I've shared with her so she could join the classroom and see what the students are doing. So as we scroll down, as we scroll down, you'll see that you have these three areas: stream, students, about. So the stream is basically where all of the assignments that you've ever assigned this class will be. And you can go and say that, your stream starts getting really long and you don't want to scroll. You can go up and you can delete. If it's an old assignment, you can go up to that assignment and click on these three dots over here and delete it. So this is my stream of the assignments that I have put on here so far this school year. And then if I click on the students category, these are all of the students that are in this section in my homeroom classroom. And what can be done, say a new student comes, which I have had the case in both sections, what I would do is I would send them a join link, and when they come, or if the link doesn't work, which sometimes for some funny reason they don't, this is my class code. So what they would do is they would go to their Google Classroom like I showed you before, and they would click join class, and then they would put this class code in, and it'll automatically put them into my roster for this section. And excuse me. And you can also, if you feel like doing it, you can get the parents' emails and you could invite them so they can see what work their students are doing. Here also about, it basically shows you where you can put information about, so the teacher's email addresses. So say for example, the students were completing an assignment and they didn't understand, and I was out that day, or Miss Nelson down here was out that day, they could click our email addresses and write us an email and saying something happened to the document, I'm not sure if I saved it properly, or this file is not opening, and then it would shoot me an email. And also this just is personal information about where my room is located and where my Google Drive folder is for this class. So I have a folder in my Google Drive already created for section 32. So going back to the stream, here is a quiz that they had to take. So third grade science classes in the county, not all participated this year, but I think next year they will all have to participate. The environmental education program had a grant that was given to them for a program where students learn how to raise fish and also how to take care of fish. So we took a pre and post test similar to how they do the SLOs pre and post test. So this was a link that I put up for them to take the quiz. So all they had to do was log into their Google Classroom and click on this link, and it went straight to the quiz. Versus me having to come back and show them or have them type in the site. Google Classroom makes it so much easier for the students to go straight to these sites because I can just upload a link. So down here where you see this plus sign, once you go over top of it, your options of what you can do pop up. So up here you have create, you have create, what is happening? You have create announcement, create assignment, create question. So most of the times I will do create announcement or create assignment. I have done a create question where the kids answer the question as an exit ticket before. And so that's another way. So you don't have to make a bunch of paper copies or use post-it notes for your exit ticket. You could have them go into Google Classroom and post the question, and the students would type their response, and you would see each student's response. So if I wanted to create I don't know why this is doing that. Okay, let me close out of that. I'm sorry. If I wanted, I'm not sure what's going on, why this is acting weird. But basically, so if I wanted to create an announcement, which is basically what I did with this assignment up here, I would click create announcement, and it would ask me, to put my notes on so I can tell the children what to do. I would paste the link. If I'm trying to put a link in there, I would paste the link in there. And let me see if I can get this to work. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and select this class. No, this is just showing me everything because I guess when this button down here is for reuse posts. So I'm going to try to see if I can get it to let me create an announcement. I'm not sure why it's acting silly today. You have to excuse me because it's really not trying to let me click on any of them, which is very odd because the symbols that you see pop up at first should be able to stay up, but as you see, they're not. So it's making it hard for me to kind of show. But basically, that's what those tools are down here. So this is how you create your actual assignments that you're going to put in the stream for the students to go to. So for example, this is my create assignment. So I would create an assignment right here. And so back in February, right before their science SLO, I created a Google Form doc. And I created this in Google Forms, which is under your Google Drive. And what I did was create a science quiz. So instead of having them, I could have had them just log into their email accounts and then click on the dots to take them to Google Forms, but I just wanted them to all be able to go at the same time. So I created the assignment and I put it here. So this was a create an assignment, and you can see that by the symbol here. You can see that this is the assignment symbol, just like down here. Okay, so all they did was click this, and they all were given what the form was, science quiz form, and they each took it, and then I could go back into forms and gather the data on commonly mistakes, questions that were missed, and the percentage of what was the highest points that most of the third graders got. And so that I love because I don't have to email it to them or write the email address down. I can just create an assignment. They log into their Google Classroom and they go straight to it. And so Google Classroom has been extremely helpful for me, and the kids really enjoy it because they feel like they're doing something really big and special. And I mean, they are because they're getting familiar with using a technology tool. And I do use a lot of technology in my class, like I said previously, because my master's is in instructional technology. So I'm very familiar with a lot of the technology that is out there. So I wanted to make sure they got experience with this. And I am supposed to be working with the fourth grade teachers, possibly, and possibly the second grade teachers. So maybe like the last couple of weeks, they can kind of introduce their students because I don't think that the fourth grade teachers were familiar with using Classroom as much, and the second grade teachers didn't know about it at all. So they were like, we want to kind of prepare the kids because we know this is a tool you use in the classroom. So this is my favorite tech tool, and very beneficial to educators. Reduces paper, makes it easy for students to access assignments, and all of every assignment that you create, you usually create either in your docs or your sheets or your presentations. And so, like if I'm say I wanted to give them a quiz, which I have down here, multiplication quiz, they each get their own copy, which is what it says right here. So when you create this assignment, that gives you an option, and you always want to click. Each student will get a copy, because if not, what they will be doing is writing on your original. Then everybody's work is going to be on that original paper, and that becomes a whole other headache. So you always want to make sure you click the option. Each student will get a copy, and what happens is when they finish taking the quiz and they submit it, it goes into this section's um, folder in my Google Drive, and then I can score, and then I can come back and score in here. So I can go back and put their scores over here and everything, and then I can write them down. So I have found it very beneficial. This is acting really weird today. Okay, let me see. So I find it very beneficial, and I enjoy using this tool. So I know there are teachers that use this tool, and hopefully more teachers take a class to learn how to use it. So yes, this is my favorite tech tool. Thanks for listening.